Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton today. Hi, Colton.
Hey Boris, welcome back to the Kryptonite channel, everyone.
All right, so today we're going to talk about Polygon and some huge news. But before that, we're going to cover one or two things that are kind of important in the market. All right, so we saw that Tesla sold some of their Bitcoins.
Yeah, so what does this mean, Boris? Did they sell them because they don't believe in Bitcoin anymore? Do they need money? Does him having to pay $1 billion back to Twitter, is this a factor? Why did they do this?
Well, the main reason, and that's great because they disclosed very clearly what's going on. They had about $2.2 billion last quarter in
Hmm.
cash. And here they sold about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Hmm.
And even that, they only ended up the quarter with $600 million
Mm.
in cash. So they were kind of forced to sell their Bitcoins, which was not necessarily bad for them because they sold them roughly at the price they bought it for.
Yeah,
So they didn't lose any money. They didn't make any money, but at least they didn't lose any money. And their price was $30,000 when they bought it last year. So really, they could have more than doubled their money if they had sold last year. But I think they realized that only they were going to run out of cash recently. So it's mainly because of the gigafactories, those big factories they're building
yeah,
worldwide for the batteries.
yeah,
And that is a major money furnace,
sure.
as Elon Musk put it. So basically, there's nothing to do with Bitcoin, really. I mean, people got spooked when the news came out yesterday. We saw Bitcoin really take a drop. It's just because they needed to raise cash, and that basically forced them to sell those coins. They didn't sell everything; they sold 75% of their position. But I mean, Elon Musk has said himself that he still believes in Bitcoin, that he'll probably buy more in the future. But right now, they need cash to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
So that was the whole reason behind selling those coins, and nothing to do with the fact that they don't believe in Bitcoin anymore, or that they're afraid it's going to crash to zero, or any of that.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, in terms of, like you just said, with the market, what is going on with the market, Boris? It's been fluctuating. Yesterday, we were about 24,000 for Bitcoin. Right now, as you see, we're down to 22. What does that mean? Why does it keep fluctuating so much?
Well, I mean, first of all, people think, and it's funny. I was watching, I mean, of course, I watch a few other channels,
Hmm.
and it's funny. Like some of them, they're like, "Oh yeah, now next stop is 29,000. Next stop is 46K. Next stop is 50,000." I'm like, "Wow, you guys! I mean, as soon as it goes up by 5 or 10%, suddenly you all ecstatic that it's going to go right back up to 30, 40, 50K." No, it's never going to do that. The macroeconomic has not changed. And that's the thing that people don't realize. We're going to have those little ups, but then we'll have little downs as well.
Yeah.
And even though it's a little better than where we were at a few weeks ago when we were at 19K, I mean, that dropped all the way down to 17, but then it was hovering around, 19, 21K. And here, we're back down to 22, went all the way up yesterday, I believe, to 24,
24
yeah,
something.
like
Yeah.
24, 200, let's say.
Yeah.
So it's back down $2,000 or $1,800, whatever.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's going to keep on happening for the macros. And several of the reason is that the economy, we need to really watch out next week. We're on the 21st today, 7 days from now. They're going to report the second quarter for the US, the GDP.
Yeah.
And most likely it will be uh,
Not good.
underlying a recession. It'll
Yeah.
be the second quarter that it's negative. Now, it could be a big surprise if it was positive, but given the current situation, I mean, that is extremely, extremely unlikely.
Yep.
And, we might see a little bit of, selling in the markets. Some people say it's already priced in. Good news is somewhat priced in, but when the bad news come out, people always get a little fearful, and you could see further sales.
Yeah.
So to me, I think we're still going to see that pressure, and it's really preventing Bitcoin from going up. And then the other major thing that's preventing Bitcoin from going up is the DXY. I mean, that's definitely the other major headwind for Bitcoin right now.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Boris, but can you explain what a DXY is for the people who don't understand what that is?
Sure. The DXY, it's basically the US dollar versus pretty much all the other major currencies out there, whether it's the euro or it is and you can find it on Market Watch, and if you look at the DXY over, let's say, this is just one day, but let's say over a period of 1 month, this is what the dollar has been doing against all the other currencies, So it was sitting at 103 about a month ago, 103, 104. Now it's 106. That means the US dollar is appreciating. It's getting more expensive against the euro, against the British pound, the Japanese yen, the Chinese yuan. I mean, pretty much all the major currencies out there, it's going up. And if you look at it, this is 1 month, this is 3 months. So 3 months ago, it was at 101. So it's gone up 5%. And the more expensive the US dollar, that means that it's going to, Bitcoin without doing anything being traded against the US dollar, whenever we see the Bitcoin sitting at, let's say, $20,000 and 3 months later it's sitting at 22,000, even though the dollar is appreciated, well, it's appreciated by 10% already, in the fact that it went from 20,000 to, let's say, 22,000, but also it's appreciated another extra 5% because the US dollar is more expensive. So people buying Bitcoin in British pound, in euros, in Japanese yen, they have to spend an extra 5% to get those Bitcoins.
That makes sense. Okay.
So that is the reason why it makes it even more difficult for Bitcoin to actually go further.
That makes sense.
That's the main reason. And of course, the big elephant in the room is definitely the macroeconomic situation worldwide, with a lot of things going on. So that's the reason why it is not. I think we're going to be going sideways for a while. We could see one more drop. And where's that drop going to take us? I'm personally thinking it's going to take us along the lines of about 15K. Maybe it's not going to be as bad. It also depends on what is the news that's coming out next week. So watch out on the 28th of July, July 28th, to see what the GDP growth is going to be in the US.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of the economy, I think it's the first time in my lifetime that the euro has been less than the dollar. So, that was something interesting to see. My lifetime, I've never seen that. So like you said, the macroeconomics, definitely play a big part. Now, my next question is why everyone clicked on this video. Polygon had a big rollout, Boris. What was so important with this rollout, and what was this rollout? I know a little bit about it. It had something to do with Ethereum, but can you explain a little bit more, what this rollout was and what it means for Polygon and Ethereum?
Sure. So first of all, what's really nice is we see that Matic has been performing really well. It's now sitting at number 12. It has gone up tremendously over the past, 30 days, 119% appreciation. So if you had bought Matic a month ago, you have already more than doubled your money. Because if we look at 30 days ago on the graph, I mean, it was sitting at 40 cents.
Yeah.
And today it's sitting at 88 cents. It went all the way up to about 98 cents. So that would have been an extremely nice gain, to buy some Matic a month ago. They just announced something really major, which is that ZK rollup. And realistically, it's something that's more interesting for the programmers. So people think, well, what does that affect us? Why do we care? Well, it's going to affect also a lot of things as far as how well the coin is going to do, because this is going to allow basically the whole blockchain to go a lot faster and to be a lot less expensive. So first of all, for those who don't know Polygon as well, Polygon is basically a layer 2. It's sitting on the top of Ethereum. and it allows you to do multiple transactions and basically write just one transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, therefore dividing up the cost. That's the major problem with Ethereum, is that usually if you have a Ethereum transaction, you have to actually spend a lot of money on gas fees to make that transaction happen. If you
Yeah.
have a block of transactions, let's say you have 100 transactions grouped together, well, you divide by 100 the price of those transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. So, but the ZK rollup, it's mainly about smart contracts, and it's the way it's going to check. So it's a little technical, but the way it's going to check those things is going to make it much faster and much more efficient. And really, for investors, the main thing to understand about this is that, yeah, whenever you write a smart contract, the same way you can write it on Ethereum. So you're writing them, on the Polygon, but it's basically the same that if you were to write them on Ethereum, and you can add everything else that you want in the programming. And what it equates to is this part, which is that we expect that to slice the transaction fees by 90%
Oh,
in
wow.
comparison to Ethereum. So whenever you see those fees that are, let's say, $10, I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to be a reduction of 90%. So basically $9. So the same transaction on Polygon, on Matic, would run you $1. So
Wow.
that's going to slash it tremendously. But the other huge thing is the scalability, which suddenly it's estimated that the network will be able to support 40 to 50 transactions per second, compared to Ethereum that can only do 15 transactions per second. So, and over time, this means that the technology, which is announced in January, will be used to boost transaction capacity orders to in orders of magnitudes higher. Some people are talking about almost infinite transactions, like
Wow.
almost an infinite number. Is going to be so scalable that it could virtually be, basically number of transactions per second would be a non-issue. A little bit like a few years back, people remember having a cell phone. You used to get like 500 minutes a month, or 1,000.
Yeah.
One day they came up with unlimited, and then suddenly you don't count your minutes anymore. Who cares? It's unlimited. So this is why it's so important. That's going to make Polygon over the next few months, and especially over the next few years, definitely be a major player. And it's also going to help Ethereum as well. So having Ethereum, having Polygon is definitely great. And that was, part of the 7 coins we recommended the other day that people should really look into getting into their portfolio. In
Yeah.
this bear market, those are the coins that you want to buy.
Yeah. Now, in terms of the video released on Tuesday this week, Boris, my last question for you today is does this change your mind on when you should invest in Polygon and what percentage of the portfolio you should be using towards Polygon?
No, yeah, it just confirms,
Yeah.
what we said on the other video. It doesn't change the numbers because I think that you still need to have multiple bets and roughly of equal size. They're slightly different. They're not exact in the term of percentages,
Yeah.
but it's better to have. So it keeps the same numbers that we talked about the other day, but it confirms that Ethereum is going to do very well, and especially Polygon is going to do very well in the coming years.
Yeah.
We could see Polygon, at several dollars, probably, $5-10 Polygon is very, very possible.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. From my side, Boris, that's all I have for today. But if you'd like to add anything, please feel free.
Keep a cool head and don't try to FOMO in. Whenever you see the numbers going up in a day, some people try to jump right there. Oh my God, it's already at 23. Oh my God, it went to 24.
Yeah.
You FOMO in, and then the next day, boom, you're down to 22, 700, 600. And you're like, oh my God, I made such a mistake. There was a funny graphic I saw on Twitter the other day. The guy was drawing a straight line up, and it was saying like price of Bitcoin. And then the second graphic was, going up, and then suddenly a major dump. And it's like, this is the price of Bitcoin if I buy.
Yeah, that's funny.
So the thing is, it is not that it is if you buy that it goes down, but people feel that way because they FOMO in.
Mhm.
And there's no reason to FOMO in. If you want a DCA on days that it's in the red,
Gotcha.
days that it goes down. Today we're at -5% for Bitcoin, so that's possibly a day where you could do a little DCA, not even major DCA, because we still believe, and this is not financial advice, do your own research, but I think personally that it'll go further down. But if you want a DCA, that's on the red days you want a DCA, not on a green day where Bitcoin is up like 5%. That's not the day you want a DCA.
Yes, sir. And I will say, Polygon, out of all like crypto, Twitters out there, Polygon probably has one of the most informative Twitter accounts out there. Most of their tweets are threads, so they'll give you multiple tweets on why something is going on. So like Boris said, do your research. Polygon really does have a very, very informative and intuitive Twitter. Their marketing people are doing a great job over there. So keep it up, Polygon.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. We'll see you on the next video of Kryptonite. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.